Not taking no for an answer. Why our next guest is insisting on sharing his book with the world. Author of Scar Dakota, Jason Wright, is joining me live via Zoom to talk about his journey. Hi, Jason.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Well, we're talking about your latest project. You have published several books, including Christmas Jars and Even the Dog Knows, but your most recent book is going to be titled Scar Dakota. Tell us a little bit about what inspired this story.
Oh, I'd love to. So this is my first children's novel, the first time I've really tried to write particularly for middle schoolers. And the book is about a boy from Wilmington, North Carolina, who doesn't really know his dad. And he's just lost his mom over the Christmas holidays in a sort of an unusual accident. So he's got to relocate from North Carolina all the way to this strange new place called Utah, Highland, Utah. He doesn't even know where Utah is on a map. And suddenly he arrives in Utah to be raised by his grandparents and to walk into the biggest junior high he's ever seen in his life. And he's got kind of a pocket full of secrets and heartache and this scar on his right cheek that he's not sure that he can talk about. And somehow this sweet seventh grader who's got to survive middle school.
Well, and with back to school right now, many parents and children can relate to that. So right now you're in the process of getting this book published, and you faced a little bit of trials getting this published because they've wanted you to change the main character. So tell us why you feel strongly about keeping this book the same as you originally wrote it.
Yeah, this was such a surprise to me. I started talking to some people in publishing, agents and editors, people that I know and love and respect and have known some of them for a long, long time. And they said, look, books for kids are trending really far away from male lead hero characters to young women, to females. And so it's going to be really hard for you to find a place in bookstores or Amazon or whatever with a book with a boy lead. And I said, oh, but I get it. I love books with strong female lead characters. I have written a number of them. But when you write a book that is sort of through your eyes as a seventh grader, my experience as a seventh grader wasn't like this young man, Scar, and the things that he goes through. But the seventh grade was brutal for me. I failed the seventh grade, which I hardly ever talk about. But in real life, I actually failed the seventh grade. And so this novel kind of comes from a painful place for me, wanting to talk about my different kinds of scars through middle school and to help people experience some of these things through the eyes of this middle schooler, this boy you're going to love so much. And so the idea of changing from a boy to a girl to make it more palatable to the industry and the trends in the industry just didn't feel right to me.
This story was a reflection of your experience as a middle schooler, and you felt strongly to keep it that way. On the title of your book, it says, "Not all scars are skin deep." What do you hope readers take away from your book?
Oh, boy, I'm so glad that you're the first person to ask me specifically that question. I appreciate that so much. We all have scars, and sometimes those scars take a long time to heal, and sometimes they heal and the world never even sees the remnants of them. But often they're there forever. And I believe that if we are willing and patient, we can learn a lot from our scars, from our life experiences, whether they're physical or emotional, mental, spiritual, and we can grow from them, and they can actually become really beautiful things. And by the end of Scar Dakota, our hero, I think, learns a really interesting lesson about that scar here that the world sees and the ones that maybe they haven't.
What a beautiful story. I'm so anxious to see this book get published. Rather than going the traditional route, though, you are doing this through a tour happening throughout Utah. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the book is now being backed on Kickstarter by people all over the country. In fact, Emma from Washington State, if you're watching, Emma has raised more than $3,000 personally to bring Kickstarter to schools in Utah and Washington. I'm so proud of her. I hope that she sees this. So we're going to come out to Utah. We're going to visit schools. We're going to talk about the book. Schools can book a visit and buy books. You might be watching anywhere in the world and just say, I want to back not just the story, but the mission of independent publishing and the idea that an author should be able to publish the book the way that they see it through their eyes. Just go to Kickstarter and search Scar Dakota. You can go to scardakota.com and you'll find the link to it. Find me on social media. Just search Jason F. Wright any place and you'll find me.
Well, and you're already on your way raising funds. Thank you, Jason, for taking the time to chat with us today. If you would like to help Jason kickstart his book's publication, you can visit scardakota.com to donate. Thank you, Jason.